Hey, it's MK, and I am here with a Woodgrain and Winter layout for you guys today. And today I'm actually doing a pocket page. I haven't done one of these in forever, so I'm a little rusty. So first thing I did was pull out a couple flare from Scrap and Happy Studio. I had a couple duplicates because I've got a set of 3 available in my shop, and she has a set of 6 available in her shop with a few other images. I also have today's SAR images, which is this really cool clock that says do it or don't. Time will pass anyways. And then it also comes with a actual hand clock and then an hourglass. I have these tiny word stickers that came from the Simple Stories Christmas Lodge, but then I also brought in this making and make word because I wasn't sure if I wanted the word making or make, and those are tiny words from Tim Holtz. I have these fussy cut out wood grain tree slices from Minte. Cut those out a couple years ago, used them on several layouts and projects. Also have a few different chipboard pieces, wood veneer pieces, acrylic pieces, and whatnot left over from my stash. I believe from day 3 to, I don't remember, I have one little paper clip left over. And then I've got this sticker sheet from the Winter Woods collection. Very close to my heart. I have this snowflake paper. Now, I wasn't sure if I needed both sheets, but I don't have a full sheet of this, of one of them, but I wasn't sure if I needed all of this paper. So I pulled out both of them just in case, but it is from a very old collection, back when they even called it recollections or reflections or something like that. So anyways, from close to my heart. And then again, from Christmas Lodge, I pulled out these 2 reads as a solid papers, and I'm going to use the charcoal color instead of the green color. Excuse me. Mr. Frog this morning. I also divided my photos already from the front and back pages. Now these will go in between the sledding double page that I've already done. I'm okay if it doesn't match exactly, but the tone and the colors will match. But I'm okay if it didn't, like if it doesn't blend all the way through. So it'll still look really good in between my double page. So because of the 6x12 pocket being a little bit longer than 6 inches, 12 inches, because of the 3x3 pockets needing to have those seams in order to become 3x3s, the page is about 1/2 inch wider. So I'm adding a little black strip to the side of my 12-inch snowflake paper. That way I can have this fit inside my pocket without it looking strange and short compared to the 4 3x3 cards that go all the way across. So it'll still look really, really good once it's in the page protector. Now I don't actually take a picture of the page protector just because of all the glare that ends up being on it, but it still looks really, really good once it is all done. And put in the page, because the 3x3s have each little seam, and so they're spread a little bit wider than a 12-inch piece. And so it all just really, really works. Now this particular page protector, I'm not really sure where I got it. I know I've had it for quite some time, and I'm not sure if it's still available. If I find it, I will link it down below, but if I can't find it, I apologize, you guys. Most of my page protectors are back when the physical project life was a thing and everybody was trying to keep up and come up with all these different page protectors. And I just went crazy buying all the different types because the A style, I think, or design A, I never liked. I bought a ton of them, and those were the first ones I got rid of. But I kept all of my unique ones because those are the ones that I really enjoy playing with and adding to my layout or to my albums. So I think I have like 3 or 4 design A's, but I definitely don't have as many as I had when I first started the whole page protector pocket rabbit hole. All right, so I did not end up needing both of my charcoal pieces. I used up most of them, but I didn't need both of them because I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do this design, but I decided that my snowflakes. I just cut the 12 by 12 right in half and glued them both together. So I only used one sheet of snowflakes, and then I cut out all my 3 by 3 squares, front and back, which took another 12-inch piece, and then I needed a 3/4-inch piece to finish my little strip. And then I decided that I was going to mat my photos that were going to be in the central section, the 6 by 12 section of my pocket page. So I went ahead and matted those as well. So I think I have maybe a little less than 4 inches because of, or well, a little more than 4 inches, because if I used 6 inches for my photos and then a 1/2-inch strip, it's a little less than 6 inches, I guess, left of the charcoal paper. And then I plan on using the wood tree slices as my wood grain for my Woodgrain and Winter. I even asked Janet if it was okay if I did this, because I didn't actually pull out a wood grain paper, but these tree rings came from a paper that I fussy cut out the entire thing. I think it was sometime last year, and I've been using them ever since. I think I started on, I think I cut them out for a embellishment grouping that I was doing, and then I ended up having all these leftovers, and I've just been using them little bits by little bit. So I'm glad to be using them all up, and finally finishing them. I had all these pine cones that were left, or pine needles, in wood veneer and one in chipboard that I had left over from last year as well. So I'm glad to be using that up. This tiny little piece of string, I don't even know where it came from. It was stuck in between all of my pine needles. So I'm glad to be, using that up as well. I love it when I can, take a bunch of little leftovers and end up just reusing them. My little reindeer crossing sign, that was from last year's acrylic during the December release. And so I thought it was super cute with these reindeer, or with these deer flare. Not that we are sledding with reindeer, but I do have to say, every now and then while we're up at the top of the hill getting ready to slide down, deer are crossing down below where we end up stopping, where the sled ends up stopping. So that's actually kind of cool. We've actually seen deer cross along our paths as we are just sitting there sledding. It's like they're not even afraid of us. But we also live in a community where the worst thing that we can do is go get and try to get the deer to move on. We're not allowed to interact with them. We're not allowed to feed them or anything, but slowly but surely they've just gotten used to the vehicles. They've gotten used to the animals. They've gotten used to the fences. I mean, we've got 2 bucks this year. Funny story, actually. We've got 2 bucks that sneak in at night right before we close our gates. And then that way they're like in our safe sanctuary, and then we have to chase them out in the morning, or our dog will get them when we let him out to go potty. So we have to check our yard to make sure that the deer didn't end up in our gates, because they like to go behind our trailers and hide back there when we don't know, and we close the gates, and then they're nice and safe inside all night long. When I first bought the house, which I know I've said this multiple times, but when I first bought the house, I actually had a deer bed down, and I had babies in my little, before I cleared the landscaping and whatnot. Well, I didn't have landscaping. I had sagebrush. Yes, that was my landscaping. But before I cleared all of that, yeah, she bedded right down and had her babies, and was there for a couple weeks, actually, until they moved on. So it was kind of cool, actually. It really was. It was kind of cool. Now we get large herds walking by, and whatnot, and most of the time the gates are closed and the dog is out, hanging out in his yard, because he just loves exploring his whole yard. I mean, he's gone for hours because we have our entire property fenced in, and he has just gone for hours, doing his thing, going and seeing if any of the chickens are close enough to the fence to where he can slurp them up like soup. Don't ask, but it has happened. I think they've learned their lesson not to get too close to the fence. But he'll hang out there for a while to see if any of them are silly enough to be close enough to the fence. And I have to tell you guys, the gaps in our fence are probably 2 inches by 3 inches. They're not very big at all. So how he gets those chickens through are beyond me. But he has a couple times. Our neighbors are aware of it. We've put up flashing from old siding to try to prevent it. We've done all we can, but he still manages to get a chicken or two. And so there for a while, the neighbors stopped having chickens, but then they brought them back, and he hasn't gotten any of them. So it's whatever we are doing, it's working this go around. But the first batch, yeah, it was funny. Not funny, but yeah, it was funny. in a terrible way, it was funny. So anyways, but yeah, we've always got deer interacting with us one way or the other. And so I thought the deer crossing was absolutely perfect. Especially this time, because there was a huge herd that went through as we're just, and we're not quiet when we're sledding. We're screaming, we're yelling, we're laughing, we're having a great time. And the deer just walk on by, and you can hear them crashing through all the sagebrush and things like that. And then they span across, the open space back into more sagebrush, and it's just a cool little sight still, even after all this time of seeing them all the time. It's still a cool sight. All right, so I distressed all the edges of my photos just to give them a little bit of a snowy edge. I thought that it was pretty cool against the charcoal 3x3 squares. And then I distressed the charcoal photo mats on the photos that are on top of the 6x6 or 6x12 area. And then what I did was I divided and conquered my my supplies. I took all of my wood grain tree slices and divided them excuse me, in half, so that way these ones over here will go on the back side of my layout. This one over here, or these ones over here, will go on the front side. I did the same thing with my flare. Then my snowflake paper had a branding strip that just said "Let it snow" multiple times, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I took 4 of them, "Let it snows," and put 4 on one side and 4 on the other side, so that way I could just have it like the song, because it repeats 4 times. And I thought that's perfect. But for this side, I believe there's only 3, because I end up using a flare to cover one of the "Let It Snows" up. So there's only 3 on one side, and then there'll be 4 on the other side. I took a break for a minute and went and inked up my 2 wood veneer pine cones. I broke one at the process, but it is fine because it ends up actually working in my favor. But I'm going to use those on the other side. I wanted them to match the chipboard, but because they're not going to be on the same side, I feel like they're matchy enough. I also went off camera and flattened all of my flare pieces, so that way they were ready to go. Figured I've done that enough on camera. You guys didn't need to keep seeing it. Plus, these layouts usually are super uber long. I even cut out where I cut my pieces. I cut out where I trimmed my photos. I mean, I trimmed down this video quite a bit, taking out all of what I felt like was the boring parts, just to keep this video under 20 minutes, and it didn't happen. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm heavily decorating my 3x3s that don't have any photos. I like having this little breakup on my, or in my pockets, just so that way it's not photo, and especially when I don't really have a synchronized photo, like this is, someone sledding downhill, one of the kids walking back up the hill, all of them clustered down at the bottom because they all like to race going down the hill. It's so funny. It is really funny because the kids are trying to go straight down the hill, as fast as they can, and they haven't figured out how not to turn yet. And my husband, he'll get on the sled and actually purposely sit there and spin and turn and go backwards and use his hands to grab onto people's legs and stop them from going so fast, and just kind of messes with them all, just so that way they'll go up and do it again. And and it's just so much fun. But he does it on purpose, so that way, it's not just a who can go down faster and then that's it. It's everybody crashes and whatnot. And if he misses a leg, he'll pull out his foot and get him to crash with him. And and it's good fun because then they chalk it up to be, well, at least now I don't have to walk all the way back up, right? They only have to walk halfway back up. So, and eventually we end up making a path along where our slide is, and actually where I usually am taking my pictures. There's like a ledge of bushes, and we usually end up making the path right there along that ledge, so that way we don't pack down and put footprints in the sledding path. And so, yeah, we end up doing that. And I keep telling everybody, it's like, it would be really nice if we just had one of those revolving ropes and we could just grab onto the rope, get onto our back, and let the rope haul us up the hill. Oh, and Jason says no, because he doesn't want to be the one maintaining the pulley system. So it's like, okay, fine. All right. So I decided that I just wanted the part that says do it or don't, because sometimes we don't get to go sledding. And I thought this was absolutely perfect because, when there's snow on the ground, you either have to go sledding that day or you don't get to, because the sun shines really bright, and especially the snow on the hill that doesn't have shadowing by the trees or anything like that. It's usually gone in patches, right? And then it doesn't make the sledding any fun. So I thought it was absolutely appropriate for this specific sport in our area. You either do it or don't. Go make memories, right? And that is what it was. I really liked the do it or don't. And then I wanted it to say make memories, but I wasn't sure if it was going to take up enough space, enough room for me to be able to cover up the time will pass anyway, right? And so I first pulled out make memories, right? Do it or don't make memories, right? It's a infinite statement that works perfectly. You either go make memories or you don't go make memories. And that is exactly how we feel all the time. And so I wanted it to say make memories, but it didn't work. And so I had to do making memories, do it or don't making memories. And in my brain, it still works. It still says what I want it to say, but I just covered up the last little part. I love having that little clock peek in there as well. Because honestly, it is, you're on a ticking time bomb, right? And you go and do it or you don't. And that was absolutely a perfect saying for these photos, because sometimes, it's too cold. We don't want to go out there. We don't want, to freeze our bums off and, make these memories, but we want, we do. And like I said, the snow's not going to be there forever, for us to do it. Sometimes we don't have snow at all. And so then we don't get to do this. So it's not a question of should we, it's a question of, oh, we have to, when, right? More than anything. And so, yeah, this year we don't have enough snow. I'm hoping, I'm still holding out. I'm crossing my fingers that I get snow on Christmas. The last time I asked for snow for Christmas, I got snow for Christmas. And everybody hated me because it lasted until April. I just want snow for New Year's, because it's our tradition. It's what we do. And yeah, it's what we do. And then we all go into the restaurant and have a wonderful meal afterwards, get warm and cozy and melt our chairs. We have puddles of snow underneath our chairs. It's great. It's so much fun. But yeah, it's just what we do. It's just the tradition that we have done for several years now. So yeah, I do want snow for at least enough to have sledding day, for New Year's. It's been our tradition. So I don't want it to stop. But this year it looks like it's not going to happen, but I'll still ask for it, right? All right, so I'm going to finish this off. I thought I was going to use So Much Snow because this was the year that we just got. It never stopped. It was so awesome. But I did not end up using it because I felt like this site is very, very wordy, all sorts of words. So I ended up just using Snow More on the layout, and that is how I'm going to end it. I do like my title of Do It or Don't, Making Memories. I really do love it. I just love all of the little snow icons. The snowy filled trees were perfect for this layout. And then I'm just sharing with you guys the 2 3x4s that I pretty much decorated up at the top. I really didn't do any decorating of the other 2 at the top, and then same with the bottom. I only have 2 squares down there as well, so I will share those with you. They just happen to be front to back, which was convenient. And then the other 2, I don't think I have anything. Nope, so I won't share those with you guys because they're just pictures. All right, you guys, so that is my layout for today. And then, of course, my close-ups. I took lots and lots and lots of close-ups before I put it in the page protector. Like I said, when I take pictures within a page protector, it's very hard to get pictures without a glare. I did overlap my wood veneer pieces with my flare, with my acrylic piece. They fit inside the 3x3 squares perfectly. I didn't even need the paper clip to hold them in, so my paper clip ends up just being a decoration on top of the 6x12 pocket because I didn't need it to hold any of these 3x3 squares in place, which is a great thing. That I did not bulge out anything too much to where it won't stay put. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel, who is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube. She is my partner in crime in the Woodgrain and Winter, so she is also using her Advent Calendar gifties for today as well. And don't forget to check out the playlist that I have for Woodgrain and Winter and everyone else that is hopping along with us this month. And also, I've got both of our Facebook groups linked down below, mine and Janet's as well. So you guys go and follow us over there and follow everyone else that is playing along with Woodgrain and Winter that don't have videos. So anyways, again, thank you so much, and I'll check you later. Bye.